The story of Joseph. Abraham's tribe was beginning to grow. Isaac grew up and had a son called Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons, but one of them was his favorite. His name was Joseph. Jacob gave Joseph a very beautiful and special coat because he loved him the most. Joseph's brothers were upset. They didn't have special coats. One night, Joseph had a dream. He told his brothers, "I dreamt I was like a prince, and you all bowed down to me." Now Joseph's brothers hated him. Who did he think he was? They wanted to get rid of Joseph and never see him again. So they did. One day they sold Joseph to some men for 20 silver coins. The men took him a long way from home to a place called Egypt. Then the brothers played a terrible trick on their father. They tore Joseph's special coat and showed it to Jacob. A wild animal must have attacked him, he thought. Jacob's heart was broken. He thought he had lost his son forever. Meanwhile, Joseph was alive, but things weren't going well for him. He'd been taken from his home, made a slave, and thrown into prison for something he hadn't done. But Yah was with Joseph, so Joseph trusted Yah and waited. One night, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had a strange and frightening dream. He dreamt that thin cows were eating fat cows. What did it mean? No one knew, but Pharaoh heard that Joseph could understand dreams, so he asked Joseph for help. With Yah's help, Joseph explained the dream to Pharaoh. A famine is coming and there will be nothing left to eat. We need to store food up now while we have more than we need. Then later we will have enough. Pharaoh was very grateful to Joseph and could see that he was wise. So he made him a prince and put him in charge of the whole country. When the famine came, everyone in Egypt had enough food because they were prepared. But Joseph's family far away had nothing left to eat. There was no food to be found anywhere. They were very hungry. When Jacob heard that there was food in Egypt, he sent his sons to buy some. Joseph's brothers had no idea that Joseph was there at the palace. They didn't think they would ever see him again. At first, the brothers didn't recognize Joseph and bowed down in front of him because he was now a prince. Remember Joseph's dream? But of course, Joseph knew them. He still loved them and his heart was full of joy. "It's me," he said, "your brother." Joseph's brothers were very surprised and a bit scared. They had treated him terribly after all. But Joseph wasn't angry. He hugged them and forgave them. "You see," he said, "Yah had a plan for my life. He brought me here to save lives and to save you." Joseph brought his whole family to Egypt, and it grew and grew, just as Yah had promised Abraham it would. A long time passed, and Egypt had a new Pharaoh. When he saw Joseph's family, Yah's tribe, growing, he was worried. There were so many of them. What if they wanted to take over his kingdom? So Pharaoh came up with a plan, and it wasn't good for Yah's people.